over here with my computer. Wahaha. Hi guys. Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to go, I'm a Kindle girly, y'all. I'm gonna confess that I am a Kindle girly and I want to talk about what's on my Kindle, okay? We'll talk about where I got the idea, and basically I'm gonna run through a bunch of books that are on my Kindle. And I'm also, as always, when I talk about my Kindle, it's a little bit of a love letter to my Kindle, so you're gonna get some of that as well. So if you're new to my channel, then hi, my name is Shelly, and I really love books and reading. I like reading on my Kindle, if you haven't caught that already, and if you're enjoying the vibe and you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to do so. And without any further rambling on, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. My friend Anita was saying, I really would love to know what you have on your Kindle. Like, that would be great. She may have suggested it as like a video idea. And I was like, yeah, sure. that would be amazing. I want to know what's on my Kindle as well. And I'll get into why it's a little bit of a mystery on this device, okay? So I know a few weeks, maybe even a month ago or so, Victoria at A Musical Bookworm, who, if you don't follow her channel, please follow her channel. She's just got this really lovely vibe about her. She just seems so calm and chill. Anyways, great channel. So Victoria did a video about all the books, like the unread books on her Kindle. And of course that got Steve Donahue thinking about his Kindle, and he also was united as a Kindle girly. So Steve, I see you. Kindle girlies unite. Because Kindles are queen, all right? And then also recently, so that kind of got me thinking about, oh, that would be a good idea. Anita was really the one that, that you have to thank for making this video, for me making this video. And then also, who was it? Oh, Gemma, like Turley and Gemma, Turley at Turley Brooks Reads, and Gemma of the channel Gem of Books. They were chit-chatting about the Booker, as we have all been talking about the Booker. And it was like, every other book or so, Gemma was like, that's on my Kindle. That's on my Kindle. Of course I haven't read it, but it's on my Kindle. And Charlie ended up saying something to the effect of like, you have this magical Kindle. You have so many books on your Kindle. And I was like, yeah, girl, you have so many books on your Kindle. But yeah, I was like, I don't know why I'm surprised. I have so many books on my Kindle. So we're going to go through some of them today. Now, I will say that I have a patron out there, you know who you are, Nathan, who sends me Kindle books. It's just one of those things. I have a generous patron that sends me Kindle books. And for that, it's one of the reasons why I have so many books on my Kindle. And some of them I bought, but I'm really, really, really good that if I purchase a Kindle book, I typically read, if I am the one buying it, I will read it immediately. However, the ones that are gifted to me, they tend to linger a little bit longer. Not that I mind, it makes me feel like I am a hoity-toity Kindle girly who has just tons of options on her Kindle. So, yay! Okay, I'm gonna stop. Let's actually get into the books. So as I mentioned, I will leave these people linked down below. Everyone I mentioned I adore, okay? Like everyone I mention, they're amazing. So if you want to know Kindle books, let's talk. The first book is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. This book I wanted because it ranked so high on the readers list for the New York Times, the best books of the 21st century readers edition, and BookTube's list of the best books of the 21st century. I was so surprised. I really must have done this thing. Like I was shielding my eyes and closing my ears to the vibe that A Gentleman in Moscow was giving out. I just didn't realize how well received the book was. And then even when I commented, I was like, gosh, it's got to be like a well-written book, because it's about a guy who's in house arrest, but the house arrest is in this like hoity-toity hotel. And I was like, how good can a book really be under that premise? And so many of you all were like, it's amazing. I love it so much. Like, y'all were really hyped about this, which, you know, really tickled my fancy and got me curious about the book. So I did start reading it. I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. Okay. Like, I like it. There's a preliminary review. I just think it's like slightly cheesy. Like, it's a little bit cheesy. Okay, we're gonna stop. I haven't finished it yet. Who knows? I might just like be swept away by the count and then like be devastated by the end. But right now I'm like, I don't know, kind of. It's fine. It's fine. All right. I was given we had a little bit of a yogurt debacle. Okay, well, I don't even know where I was at. I really don't. Okay, I'll just quickly run through the Booker Longlist books that I have. These were gifts and gifts, not a gif. Okay, so we have, in terms of Booker Longlist, I have the majority of it, and I'm not going to continue to say that things were gifted. We're just going to assume that things were gifted. So we have The Safe Keep, which now I really want to read because people are comparing it to Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I was just like, yes, please. Also, I do think it's interesting that they included a Dutch author. You know, I find that really fascinating. I also have both There by Tommy Orange and the follow-up book, which made the Booker Longlist, Wandering Stars. I have Held by Anne Michaels. I'm feeling meh about that book because I heard it's very like circuitous and thoughtful. Circuitous. Not thoughtful. I don't mind thoughtful books or even slow moving books, but I heard that the writing is circuitous and I don't really love writing like that. I think that somebody had mentioned that it was close to or kind of like All the Little Bird Hearts. I think that was the comparison, and I was like, I didn't read All the Little Bird Hearts. I didn't want to read All the Little Bird Hearts from last year's list. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. We also have, let's see, Stoneyard Devotional, which sounds good. It sounds like this woman goes back to her hometown. I read the first little blurb of it. I read the first couple sentences, and it actually sounds really good. I still think it's like a Dickens-esque type book in that she is revisited by the ghost of the past, and then the ghost of the present, and the ghost of the future. And I don't know if they're actual ghosts or if they're just things that are happening, and maybe they're connected like to her past, present, and future. But the copy on the back, it sounded like a Dickens thing. Okay, quickly, a little bit more. We have My Friends by Hisham Matar and Enlightenment and Orbital Wild Houses with the goat cover and Headshot. Okay. So here's the thing about Enlightenment. I started it, y'all. I started it. It's because of Daniel from Guilty Feet. I blame Daniel, okay? He talked about it and said he actually like surprisingly liked the book. He said it was like actually really good. And that was enough for me to be like, I wonder what this book is about. And so I did end up picking it up, and I really, really like it so far. I am, well, since it's the Kindle, I'm like 11% in, meaning that I've read about 40 pages, and I'm really enjoying it. It's one of the longer books on the long list, and I did the thing where I didn't just choose like the shortest read to get through it the quickest so I can start, you know, having opinions about the long list. Instead, I picked the book that I wanted to read the most, which I think is probably the best, you know, for everybody, meaning that it's the best experience for me because I'm actually picking books that I think I'll like. And I'm finding the writing really like surprisingly elevated. I shouldn't maybe be surprised because it is the Booker, and the Booker tends to prioritize more literary writing, but I'm just surprised at how good it is. And it is, oh my gosh, y'all are getting like the full tea about my thoughts about Enlightenment. It was compared to Possession by A.S. Byatt, and I found Possession very snobby, very buttoned up, to the point where I was just like, can you just crack a joke? Can you just maybe have a little bit of self-deprecating humor so that we all know how pretentious this book is, and we all know that you know that this book is really pretentious, because I found the writing really just like exhaustingly pretentious. And so, oh, there the boys go. We'll see how it goes. And so I'm finding enlightenment more accessible and enjoyable and more of just like a conversational flow. What's up?
I want to be in this video.
You want to be in this video? Your face is ruined with yogurt.
Mom?
Yes?
I've never been in a real video.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. But not like for super long.
Yeah, you have.
I remember, but not that much.
You do?
Only two.
That's true. Sometimes you just come up in here. Well, that was really fun. Long story short, oh my gosh. I am finding enlightenment a lot more accessible and enjoyable than possession. But I guess only time will tell. Like, only as the story unfolds will I be able to make a real decision about my thoughts about enlightenment. But so far, so good. Okay, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I wanted this book because Katie at Books and Things went bananas over it. No, it's like her best book of the year. And so I was like, oh, I want to read that. It's about friendship, and it's about platonic love in the form of friendship. They work in a gaming situation, workplace. I don't know what to call it. And it's supposed to be it's supposed to be good, all right? Like I don't know, when Katie gushed about it, I was like, I want to gush about it too. Like, I want to read. I don't know what she's having, but I want it. Like, that's kind of the vibe. Do y'all get book jealous? I get like reading jealous of people. Not book jealous, not like books on the shelves. It's like the experience of reading jealous. And it's not really a jealousy, it's more of a covetousness. Like, I want what they have, when someone is gushing about a book, I'm like, I want that. So yeah, then we have the Miss Marple series. It's like the complete collection of the Miss Marple novels in order. I did start reading one of the books because of our sweet Alice at Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, who is no longer with us. And in honor of her, I was reading an Agatha Christie, and then I sort of like faded it. Like, it just started to fade away, and I didn't revisit the book. I started like the first book in the Miss Marple series. That's what happens with Agatha Christie and me. I need to really just like knuckle down and read an Agatha Christie. They're not very long, but for whatever reason, they don't really like grab me. And I know it's a me thing. Like, I really need to like chill out on that. Then I really need to like chill. What am I saying? Chill out on that. I really need to like get back down to earth. Like, just read a Christie. Like, conquer a Christie. Okay, y'all are getting the silliest version of me today. I have Bridgerton on my Kindle. Bridgerton, I was having... Y'all know I went through this Nicola Coughlan phase in which I was just really loving her style, and I was loving how much media attention she was getting, especially considering that she's not necessarily there's Harry barking, that she's not the most like conventional Hollywood figure in terms of like her body shaping, and I just was really inspired by that. And so I was like, she's amazing. And of course, I all of a sudden wanted to read Bridgerton, so I got through like, I don't know, a third, no, not even a third, probably like 10% of the book, and then abandoned it. It just, I don't know. I don't know why I abandoned it. I probably just got excited about other reads and started to go with other reads. And then I also was gifted like the Lady Whistledown books as well, in case I wanted to like further my, the whole point was, the note on it was in case I wanted to like continue down the rabbit trail of Bridgerton but with like this specific character. I also have Carter Beats the Devil, which is something that I hauled. I think it's right there. Right there. It is by Glenn David Gould. This was the #1 book of the year for Steve Donahue, and y'all know I'm all about Steve Donahue's best books. So I have that, and I haven't started it yet, but I have it on Kindle now. I also have the first 5 books of the Aubrey and Martin Marturin series, which is the Master and Commander series by Patrick O'Brian. I have the first 5 books of that. Yeah, I know y'all. I really have been loving historical fiction, and Patrick O'Brian is like a genius of the genre, so I've heard. He is a big name in the historical fiction genre. He mostly wrote about, I think, it's a nautical fiction, and I really don't know what the series is about. It's set on a boat. It's a friendship between Jack Aubrey and Stephen Martin, the captain and physician, natural philosopher. Kind of sounds like a little bit of a Spock. What is his name? What are their names? Oh my gosh. Kirk and Spock situation. That's what I meant. Kirk and Spock situation. It doesn't really work when you don't remember the reference, though. You know. All right. Let's see what else. So what else do I have on my... Ooh, I have Devotion by Hannah Kent. I really liked Hannah Kent's other book. Her other book. I don't remember. Burial Rites. I was about to type it in, and it came to me. I really like Hannah Kent's Burial Rites. I liked it. It was like it's set in Iceland. We're following a convicted murderer. Or is she a murderer? What is the real tale? I really liked it. It was very effective. It was darker than I thought it was going to be, but like in the best way. I also have Tom Lake on my Kindle, and by Ann Patchett. And here's what's interesting about Tom Lake is that March of 2020, for the most part, all of our lives just slowed down tremendously. And it was like these long days, like these really drawn out days. And what I loved about Tom Lake was the way that the long days of the pandemic mirrored like days of old, days past. And Ann Patchett does it so masterfully, just this time of the past, long summers when you're at summer camp, or spending a time where you're just with this group of people and you're spending just a ton of time with them, and there's these like sort of long luxurious days, and she uses the time of the pandemic to sort of mirror the time of like summer camp days when they're kind of like the longest, shortest times of your life. It's really a good book, among other things. I've talked about it at length on my channels, like in the last couple of days, because I just finished it this past month. But it was a really, really fascinating read, and I'm so glad that I read it. All right, I also have Perfume by Patrick Suskind, which I read in college years and years ago, y'all. Like, so long ago. And we had to do presentations on this book. And the first presentation, and our reading scheduled it out so that the presentations, like we didn't have to finish the book by the time the presentations started. The way that it was sectioned out was that presentations would start, and our weeks and weeks later we would be finishing reading the book and discussing the book. The first presentation on Perfume, she talked about the ending, and the vast majority of us had not finished the book. And so you could just feel the air like become deflated out of the room, because she just went up there and was like, and the ending, and we were all like, what? And I remember me and my friends were like, I guess we know the ending now. So that's what I think of when I think of Perfume, even though it is good. It's a literary take on a murderer, and he has no smell himself. He doesn't generate any scent, and yet he can smell so distinctly. I really need to revisit the book. I still own my college copy on my shelves, but I don't know. The memory of someone spoiling it for me is the thing that like stands out in my mind. It's okay. I also have the Lincoln Highway by Immortals, road trip novel. I've heard of a lot of people DNFing this book because the way that the book sets up is very odd. However, I'm like being pulled in two directions at once because Steve Donahue said it was one of the best books of historical fiction back in 2021. So I'm like, I don't know. It's supposed to be a really good road trip novel. Young boy, coming of age story kind of thing. Again, historical fiction. Okay, I have the Women's Prize winners. So Brotherless Night and Doppelganger. I don't know if I even want to read Doppelganger by Naomi Klein. I've heard middling things about it. I haven't heard anyone. I think her execution is really good, but the fact that Naomi Klein started to be confused with somebody who has very like opposite politics than her, and so it's kind of like this weird feeling of having to correct people. But I've heard, even though that's like the premise of the book and the thing that she tries to like hold her entire argument on, it doesn't work out that great. Oh my gosh, it's storming outside. That I could hear the lightning and thunder is like right outside my window. That is frightening. We also have Brotherless Night by Vivi Ganeshan. Oh my gosh, I really need to look up how to say. Actually, now that it's storming, I really need to go because I have some stuff outside that I have to like pull in from the rain. So I'm gonna have to cut this off here, but just know I can always continue to go with what's on my Kindle because it goes on for days, y'all. It goes on for days, all right? I have a whole library on my Kindle, and if you want to just sit down and chit-chat and cozy up and talk about what's on my Kindle, I can definitely do that. So, yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next one.